Hi guys, I hope you can see me and hear me. Let me know in the chat. That would be awesome. So I know I'm not just talking to myself. Welcome to the free mini readings with me, Yamile Yemoonyah. I am a spirit guide medium, which means I can see, feel, hear, sense spirit guides around other people and can connect them and view messages from your spirit guides. This is not something that I can do. Everyone can actually do it. We're just not trained to do it. Sure, there's like different levels of ability, but just like dancing, everyone can dance. Some can do it a little bit better and can become professionals, but everyone can do it. So you can do it too, just to say that right from the start. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can see me and hear me. Oops, my laptop almost dropped. There are a few things that before we can get started. First of all, again, my name is Yamile. That's how you pronounce it. You are probably wondering about that. You can find me at spiritguides.co if you want to come and book a one-on-one reading with me. You can also just go down here. There's a green button. You can click on it, and it will take you to the page where you can book a one-on-one reading. If this is your very first time joining me here, check your emails after this these mini readings, because you will get a coupon code sent to your email inbox automatically. So if you feel called to have a one-on-one reading with me, you can use the coupon code. This is a one-time thing, by the way. Also, if you're watching YouTube or Facebook, come on over here, because only here I can do a free mini reading for you. I can't monitor like the comments on Facebook and YouTube and here on Crowdcast. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, check the link either in the description above or below. Click the link and come on over to get a mini reading. However, you can obviously also just like watch the mini readings and not get a reading if this is a little bit scary for you. Even if you're just watching, you will get something out of it, because even if you're just watching this, your guides know that you're here, and like the guides of everyone attending, they work together and they will weave in messages that are also meant for you. So pay attention. And if something feels like it's meant for you, if something feels like it applies to you, listen and pay attention, because your guides are basically talking to you. If you have any tech issues, just reload the page. That usually helps. Otherwise, help each other out in the chat. There is a link somewhere that says, I think, get audio video help. You can click that as well. And if you read my invitation, my email invitation, there's a big like part that says important there. And if you click on that link, it will explain what kind of technical requirements you need to come on screen to get a reading. But it's not complicated. If you're on Chrome, Firefox, I think Safari, I'm not sure, it will work. So let me see. Yes, where are you guys all from? That was my next question, but Hero already asked it. Hero's my unofficial assistant, and he likes to help me out. Thank you, Hero. We have Megan from England. Hi, Megan. We have Gada from New York, New Jersey. Awesome. We have Priscilla from Washington State in the US. We have Penny from Monk's Corner, Southern Carolina. I said it. And we have Adina. I hope that I'm saying your name right. From Ohio. And we have Emmanuel from Ottawa and Ralph from Vancouver Island. So two Canadians in the house. Woot woot. And we have Rosa from Atlanta. And this is the second time there's no Europeans. What's going on? If you're from Europe, let me know. All right. So before we can get started, like I said, there are a few things that you need to know. First of, and I think it's 4 things. The first thing is you might have heard about spirit guides, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And there, you might know that there's all kinds of different definitions of spirit guides out there. So if you're, for example, into neo-shamanism, they have their interpretations. If you're into spiritualism, they have different interpretations. And I have my own as well. And just to make it very clear what we're talking about here, I will tell you. So my definition of spirit guides is that any kind of being that is from the higher realms and that is connected to us in unconditional love, who want to help us on our spiritual path or in day-to-day life, is a spirit guide. So that includes angels, it includes ancestors. So either the ancestors that you knew, and I include like friends, etc., people that you knew that went before you and made the transition to the other side. It also includes ancestors that you didn't know, your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, for example. Then my definition also includes nature beings like elves, fairies, gnomes, etc. Star beings, otherwise known as aliens. Sometimes I call them aliens, but then some people get scared because they think of Hollywood movies, and Hollywood movies portray aliens very in a scary light. And that's not what it's like. Then you have ascended masters who were once human beings on Earth, but ascended and left the human reincarnation cycle. Then you have gods and goddesses from all over the planet, different cultures. And you have power animals, otherwise known as totem animals or spirit animals. At this point, I usually recommend that we be careful when we use terms from Native American, Indigenous, First Peoples cultures. We don't want to culturally appropriate their spirituality, so be aware of that. The second thing is, your guides show themselves in a way that makes sense to us as human beings. They don't really have black hair, they don't have cornrows, they don't have black glasses, because they're not in the 3D physical world. They're in a different world, and their world is not physical, so they don't have any bodies. However, because they know that we are human beings and we have a little bit of a limited understanding of the world and of the universe, they help us out and they show themselves in a physical form. And that's what I see. So when I do a reading for you, I see their physical form, but not outside of me, but like with my third eye. The same way, like if I tell you to picture a pink elephant, you picture a pink elephant right away, like with your mind's eye. And that's the same way I see it. Sometimes I see it outside of myself. That would be, not forget the nerve. Oh yeah, objective clairvoyance. And if you see something here, like with your third eye, it's subjective clairvoyance. So that's a difference, but the information is the same. One is not more valid than the other. That's very important for you to know, because if you see things, if you have visions and they're inside of your own head, that doesn't mean that it's not true. Next thing that you need to know is like the same thing goes for their names. Most of them don't have a human name. I know most of you are very, very eager to get their names, because somehow we all think that without a name, we can't connect to our guides. Even that, if that's not true, again, they know we have like our limited view of the universe. And so sometimes they will give me a name that I can pass on to you. If I get one, I will tell you. Sometimes I don't. If I don't get a name for you, don't be disappointed. It doesn't mean that they're not around you. It doesn't mean that you can't talk to them. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. And it doesn't mean that they don't want to help you. It just means they have their reasons to not give you a name. Maybe because they think you should see them more like an energy frequency, and you might be able to feel that energy frequency. Maybe you're sensitive enough to feel the energy frequency, and then you don't need a name because you can feel them. And that's actually much better than a name. Anyway, so if I get a name, I will tell you. Then one more thing is like, if you already know one of your guides, it might be a different one coming through for you today. And that's because if you know your guide, you can just talk to them. You don't need me as like the channel, medium, in-between person to give you the message. You can just talk to them. You can talk to them like out loud or in your head. It's the same thing. They can hear you. It doesn't matter. And then the last thing that you need to know is you will get the messages from your guides that you need to hear, not necessarily the ones that you want to hear, or let's say your ego wants to hear. And let me set you straight. Like, I think the ego is very important. I don't think we have to fight the ego. I don't think we have to get rid of the ego. I think we need it here in the physical world. If we didn't have an ego, we would all just be like spiritual blobs floating around and couldn't get anything done. So, but our ego is very concerned with like the physical world, and our spirit guides are not. So our spirit guides work with our soul or spirit or whatever you want to call it. And so they will give you information that's important to the soul and the spirit. And this might not be like the things that you think you want to hear. For example, if you are totally into, you want to know about like why if your boyfriend's going to come back to you, well, maybe your soul isn't that concerned about it. Maybe your soul already knows that he wasn't the right person for you, or maybe your soul knows that he is the right person for you. And that what time will tell. But that might not be important to your soul evolution. It might be way more important to your soul evolution to work on your heart chakra, develop your heart chakra, open your heart chakra. So in the future, your relationships will go better than they did in the past. So that's just an example. However, like in this example, your soul knows, your spirit guides knows what your soul needs. And what your soul needs is always, always also the best for you, like your physical being, your ego, like the I that you refer to when you talk about yourself, like our physical self. So there's no contradiction there. If your spirit guide, it's important for you to work on your heart chakra, then that's also important for your physical life. There's a reason for that. All right. And then there's one more thing. How I work, like when I invite you on screen, I will close my eyes. And I do that so I can focus better on the messages that I'm getting. And so I can just like concentrate on the message and don't get distracted by you or your facial expressions or whatever it is. For example, I might get a message that you are an impatient person. That's something your spirit guides want to talk about. And you might not think that you're an impatient person, and you might sit there and go like, And that facial expression will like trip me up a little bit, or my ego. So I keep my eyes closed most of the time, so that I don't even see what's going on with you, and I just tell you whatever I get, the message. So I think that's it. Oh no, one more thing. Like doing these readings is not like very straightforward. It's not like I get an email and I can just read the email out loud to you and that's it. How this works is I get like images, feelings, maybe a word, maybe what else? Like a sound. And I get all these clues and I have to, it's like a puzzle. I have to put them together to get a message for you. So it's very much like detective work. And I can't do this by myself. I have to do this in like working with your guides and you. So it's like the three of us have to work together. So when I give you the message, I will sometimes ask you, do you understand this? Do you, does this make sense to you? And then I want you to like speak up very clearly and say yes or no, or maybe, or I don't know, or something like this. That helps me to see if I'm on the right path, and then I can like go on like on that path, or maybe then I know I have to like go into a little bit of a different direction. Again, this is kind of like detective work, not very straightforward, so we need to all work together. Yes, and here's how it works. Yes, it will work on mobile. Let me see if there's any questions before I go on. Sorry, I'm just reading. By the way, here I can't read the whole thing that you say that you think you know your spirit guide. It's someone who passed. That might be so. However, we all have a team of spirit guides. It's not just one guide. And usually we do have like people that we knew here in life, and they are part of our spirit guide team, but they're not our main spirit guides because that's not possible. Why? Because if you were here on Earth and this person was on Earth at the same time, who was your spirit guide in that time? It's just a logical thing. So your main guide is someone else. Your main guide is someone who was like in the spirit world the entire time that you were here. That doesn't mean that your grandma or your best friend or your brother or your mother who passed can't be helping you and can't also be a spirit guide. But they can't be your main guide. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, where was I? Right. So Hero already posted how this works. Please find the Ask a Question section. It's down here. It's not the chat. It's a different thing. Again, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, come on over. There's a link in the description above or below. Otherwise, you won't see this Ask a Question section. So come on over, find the Ask a Question section. Type in newbie, nothing else, no questions, no nothing, no whole sentences, just newbie. Why is that? Because I need to like be quick and find like the people that want a reading. I can't like read whole stories at this point. I will do a Q&A at another point, and ask and I will be able to answer your questions. But today it's about readings. So type newbie and ask a question, and then I'll randomly pick people and I'll work with Spirit and trust that Spirit will give me the people that need a message today. There's no guarantee that you will get a message, so don't get upset. This is a free reading. If you really, really, really want to get a reading, then you can book one with me. Again, there's like this green button down here that you can click. Is there anything else? No. All right, so I hope you guys all typed newbie in the Ask a Question section. And for now, we're going to do a quick breathing exercise and a quick intro prayer, and then we can get started. So please close your eyes with me and relax. And just sit for a second. And then breathe in through your nose as deep as you can. And then breathe out through your mouth. Don't worry about making sounds. It's just us and no one can hear you. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. And then relax your shoulders. And one more time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Relax your face, your jaw, your forehead, your eyes. And one last time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Let go of any negative thoughts or worries that you've had today. Just be here in the moment and take this time for yourself to connect with your guides. And I'm going to call on my spirit guides to come and join us in this space and help me connect with your spirit guides. I specifically call on Archangel Michael and Brother Jaguar to protect the space and only let those through that are from the higher realms and that are connected to us in unconditional love. I also call on your spirit guides to come and join us. and use me as a medium and channel to give you the messages that you need to hear today. And so it is. Thank you. Take one more deep breath and open your eyes when you're ready. And I will go and invite some people on screen. Again, there's no pressure to get on screen. Oh, okay. The first, I see Rosie has a question. No, this is totally free. You don't have to pay anything. All right, we have Emmanuel. I'll invite you on screen. You'll get a little invite that says Yamile invited you on screen or something like that. You'll have to accept it, and then you'll appear on screen with me, and I'll give you a reading. I'll invite 2 or 3 people at the same time until someone shows up. I'll also invite Gada or Gada, I'm not sure. And I'll invite Ralph. Ralph, you've been here a few times. I'm surprised you didn't get a reading yet. All right, inviting you. And I'll just keep going until someone shows up. And I'll invite Megan. And I'll invite Adana, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. You can tell me when you come up here. And I'll invite Jackie. Still no one here? What's going on, people? If you get an error message, like find the get video audio help and check if your system is compatible. Priscilla, I wanted you to type newbie, not my guide, because it makes it easy for me, but I'll invite you anyway. Gwen, no, I don't do readings just through text. And also, I'd prefer when you get a reading that you're in the room by yourself where there's no one else around, because if you have your whole family around, you can't concentrate and your guides are talking to you and you don't hear what they're saying. So better come back next week when you have some time to yourself and some space to yourself. Penny, I'm inviting you. Still no one? What's going on here? Do you guys get the invites? Let me know in the chat so I know if something is going wrong. Megan, you didn't get the invite? Okay, let me check if it says that you... okay, Megan, it says that you accepted and you're connecting. Oh, so we have someone coming up. Yay. Okay, let me close the question and answer section. All right, we have someone here, but I can't see you yet. Let me check what's going on. Well, I can see you like tiny in the corner, but no. God, I opened a second window, sorry. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Now I see 2 people, but the screen is frozen for me. Guys, give me a minute until this is like... I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, guys. My screen is going crazy a little bit. Oh, wow. Now I have like all these people. Something is going on with my screen. I can see Ralph's back. Hi there. All right, everyone else who's on screen, like I can't see you guys. I know you're there. I can't see myself. I don't know what's going on, but please mute yourself except for Ralph. Everyone else, please mute yourself because that would make things so much easier for me. All right, so we'll go with Ralph first.
Hi, Yamile.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm surprised. You've been here a few times, right?
I like your community.
Or am I confused? Awesome. Well, I'm glad we... Oops, now we have someone else here. I don't know. I can't see you, but I heard me, Ralph?
I can hear
you. Can you confirm that you can still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, then I'll just go with you. All right, let me close my eyes, and I might take a few seconds, up to 30 seconds to tune in, and then I'll just tell you whatever I see. All right, Ralph, you have someone around you who used to be a human being. It's a male. He shows himself like he's from the 1600s, and he's wearing and I know he's an artist because he shows himself with a easel and paint and like a painter. He's definitely creative. I'm not sure if he was, I'm pretty sure he was a painter. So, like I said, I think around the 1600s, Europe. Let me see why he's with you. Well, he's telling me that you're also very creative. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So, he's saying that he's here to help you with your creativity because he says that at the moment you feel kind of stuck with it in some form. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Too much about it. He says that's like part of the creative process, and he says it's also because you've been focused too much on one channel of your creativity. And he says to experiment more with other forms of creativity. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
That you were focused on one thing.
Okay.
He says that when let me see. By the way, he looks very much like some of the old European masters. They have these funny black, almost felt hats, and these the puffy. What do you call these? I'm not sure what you call them, but do you know what I'm saying? He's almost most of his clothes are black. He looks a little bit like. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, I lost the sound. That's why. Yeah, he looks a little bit like in the Belgian and Dutch masters, the painters, that kind of time, and the same kind of clothes. Okay. So if you look these up, that's kind of what your guide looks like. Let me see. Yeah, he's definitely saying try different kinds of creativity and go back to when you started being creative, when you were more playful about it. He says at the moment you're too serious about it, and that limits you a little bit. So if you go back, and that's why he says try a different kind of medium. Could be anything. It really doesn't matter. Could be gardening, could be writing computer programs, whatever is your thing. But try something else, because that will bring out the creative, playful part again.
Okay.
And that again will help you with whatever you're working on.
Okay.
He says it's definitely important that you do your creative work because
Uh-oh.
The porridge was close to burning, you know.
Oh, sorry. Glad you caught it.
So,
Just give me a sec. Hi.
Hi. Hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me, guys? God damn it. Oh, sorry. Oh, I can see myself. That's something. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hero says like yes? Oh God, thank God. I hope you didn't hear me swear. Awesome. Yay, you can hear me. Oh, so glad. Okay, let's see where I was. Right, so he says you have the creative side, but you also have a very analytical side. So yeah, do you understand that you have like these two sides?
Yes.
Okay. Do you also understand that they sometimes clash with each other a little bit? In the sense like that the analytical side wants to like kind of like boss around the creative side.
Sure.
So he says when you go playful creativity, when you go back to like enjoying creativity just for the sake of it, it will like open up more channels for you and open up more energy for you that you can use for your work.
Okay.
He also says that you need to basically enlist the analytical side to help your creative side. Basically, have your analytical side give it a task. So it's busy doing something, because if it's not busy doing something, it will interfere. But if you like give it a task, it will be happy.
Okay.
So for example, while you, I don't know what exactly you do creative-wise, but let's say you're a painter, and while you paint, you listen to music, and you have your like your analytical side listen to the music. So it's busy doing something, but then at the same time you can paint. Just as an example.
Okay, that sounds great.
I'm not getting a name for him. He says it's not important. He actually says like you can find out the name, because he says he's actually someone that you can find when you do some research. So this is like someone who must have like been known in some form, who is still findable on Wikipedia or wherever. So like to that time, like I said, the Dutch, Belgian painters, the masters,
Okay.
and just like do some research. Maybe you will find someone that you feel somehow drawn to.
Sure.
So yeah, look into that. He says he's not like one of the like super well-known people, but he's kind of funny. He went like, but I am a little known, so he's kind of proud of that. So yeah, and he wants to help you. He says you have similar energy, like energy patterns, and he seems to like your work, so he's around to help you with that. And I think this is the first time I have someone who's kind of famous, so awesome. Let's see if he has anything else to say. He says he's with you when you like do your creative work. He's standing behind you, behind your right shoulder, and he sometimes gives you tips.
I felt somebody there.
Like, so when you get like inspiration and it seems to come from the right side, from the back, that's him. So pay attention to where your inspiration comes from.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's all he has to say for now. I hope that helps you.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption, the technical
That's okay.
difficulties.
Thank you very much, Yamile. That was great.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. All right, I'm still having some problems here. Like the video keeps resizing and being weird. All right, let's see if this works. All right, okay, so we have Megan. Let's go with Megan. Megan, I can't see you. I can just see your hair.
Hi.
Like I can, yes, that's better. All right.
Good,
Hi, how are you?
England.
Where are you from? Yes, someone from Europe. Yay. Are you nervous? Yeah, don't worry. There's no reason to be nervous. All right, let's see what I can get for you. All right, Megan, there's an angel here for you, and it's a female, and she's sending you lots of love right away. She says you're in a phase in your life that you need lots of love, and she wants you to know that you have it, that you're not by yourself, that you're not lonely, that you're not alone, you're not going through whatever it is that you're going through by yourself. That's the first thing she's saying. She's showing herself in a kind of like traditional way, like let me see, what's her hair color? I can't see her hair color. I do know that she's like in white, like she's wearing a white gown and she has like big white wings. And I do know Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear and see you now.
Yes, awesome. Okay, awesome. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what's going on.
Mm,
All right, so let me see. So she was talking about yeah, she was talking about food and eating healthy, and that there is some issue about eating healthy. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. She's saying you're going through like difficult phase in your life. She's saying that like your issues with like healthy eating go back to like the things that you're going through in life. She wants you to see the connections and make the connections because that will help you. She wants you to know you're not alone, that you have like help from the other side, you have help from her, you have help from others that are around you on the other side. She says you have a whole team that are trying to help you. They're all sending you lots of love. And she's saying like also here in this world, you have people that want to help you, but you kind of don't let them. Would you understand that?
Yeah, I guess so. Makes sense.
Yeah. She wants you to understand that like all these like people on this side and like the beings on the other side want to help you, and you have to let them in. She says you're closing yourself off from others. By closing yourself off, you're also closing yourself off from like help, and you're closing yourself off from the love that actually could help you. And she's talking about like self-love. She says you don't love yourself enough, and she says it's important that you see yourself as this like amazing being that she sees you as. She says like what she wants you to do is like in like see yourself through her eyes. See yourself like you were an angel who's looking at yourself. She says, you're such a beautiful being. You have so much to give. You have so many talents and gifts and skills that you can share with the world. And she says, you are, yeah, this amazing, amazing person. And you are like really just starting out. And there's like this amazing life that's waiting for you. And yes, maybe you're going through some hard times at this moment, but that will pass. It's not something that will like keep happening, or it's not something that will stay like this forever. It's just like a hard phase that you're going through. There will be others, like people that are like much older than you, will be able to tell you this is just part of life, and it can be hard, but you will get through this. Just open yourself up to the people that are here for you on this side as well, and see how they're trying to give you love, and see yourself in a positive light. And if you can't, if you feel depressed, then sit down and make a list of all the good things about yourself, even if it's hard, even if you can just come up with 1, 2, 3 things. Can be little things. Maybe you just helped your friend do something, or maybe, I don't know, like maybe you helped your grandma do the groceries, or whatever it is, like little things that you did, or little things that you like about yourself. Maybe you like your little toe, just a stupid example, but like write these things down, and that will help you to see yourself in a different light, and that will help you to love yourself, and it will help you to open yourself up to other people's love, and it will help you to get through this, and in the end like live a more healthy life in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you you can like accept this message and understand it.
Yeah. Is it okay if I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Was the person in my dream last night one of my spirit guides?
Yes, but this is not someone who's like always around you. This is someone who's like around you from time to time.
Okay.
Like this is not like your main guide or anything, but this is someone who wants to help you,
Okay.
especially at this point. Would that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, I hope this really helps you.
Thank you so
Stay
much.
positive.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for coming. Bye. All right, let's see. All right, so we have Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. Where are you from?
I'm from Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, awesome. Yay, Canada. All right, let's see what I can get for you. Emmanuel, you also have an angel around you, but this one is a male one, and he's like wearing almost like kind of like an armor. This usually means that you are like a warrior, like that you have a warrior spirit, but let me check if that's really correct. And just to give everyone like a little glimpse of how this works, like that's how they like give me messages. They show themselves in specific clothes, or they show themselves like wearing something or have something with them, like objects, and I automatically know like part of the message just because of the clothes. For example, when an angel appears, like and this is only true for me, this is not necessarily true for you, but because they come up with different symbolisms for you. So when I see an angel in like an armor, it usually means that I'm talking to someone who has a warrior spirit. So yes, he says you're definitely a warrior spirit. He says you came here to fight for something. And he says it's important for you to understand that you're fighting for something, not against something. And even though it might seem like sometimes you get irritated by certain things and you want to like work against them to get rid of them, he says it's way more important to find what you actually want and not focus on what you don't want, but focus on what you want and fight for that. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So he says like don't give in to like the like negativity in that sense. Again, don't give in to like or focus on what you don't want. Don't let the things that upset you drag you down. Instead, figure out what the opposite is, like how you can fix that problem, what would fix that problem, and work towards that. Because that's why you're really here. You're like a spiritual warrior. He says he said he's showing me you in an armor. Like it looks almost like a armor from the Middle Ages, like a knight with a, like, what do you call these? Like a spear, actually, and like one of those like helmets and a visor. And he's telling me that in a past life you actually wear like yeah, what we call a knight. Like you fought, you had a past life in the Middle Ages. You wear interesting. I was gonna say you were like a male back then, but actually you weren't. You were one of the few women back then who would fight, and back then it took you a while to be accepted, and to that people would understand that this was why you came and what you were doing. Back then, yeah, there were like the norms were a little bit different, and you had a hard time back then. And he says because of that lifetime, you still have like you don't always trust people, especially when it comes to men. You sometimes feel like you have to like prove yourself. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And that comes from that lifetime. That's why he's telling me about that lifetime, so you can understand where it comes from and you can like heal that part of yourself. He says for you, it's always important to like have a purpose. Otherwise you get bored and your energy goes like into directions that like are actually not so good for you, because then it interferes with your personal life and especially your personal relationships. So he says like having a purpose and having something to fight for is really important. And there can be little things, like it can be like fighting for your local animal shelter or whatever it is, or it can be really big things like fighting for the environment, or I don't know, whatever it is. He's not telling me what it is that you're fighting for, but so he says, yeah, he says when you put on your armor, and he wants you to, like, when you have a purpose, when you have something that you want to fight for, he wants you to really visualize putting on that armor, and then also visualize like that you take it off when you come back home and you want to relax, because otherwise you're like with like the topic all the time and it makes you a little agitated. He says when you visualize putting it on and taking it off in your free time, it will help you like relax, and it will help you with your personal relationships as well. And he says you work with Archangel Michael, even though like this one is not Archangel Michael, but he belongs to like the team around Archangel Michael. And so you are basically in there working with them, like with so if you feel drawn to that, like you could have like either something like a necklace with Archangel Michael on it, or get a little statue or whatever, like just to remind you of like who you are, who you're working with, why you're here. Also, this one has his name is Gregory. This one has like dark gray wings, not white and not black, dark gray. Right, he says his wings are dark gray because he's like, he works for the light, but because he works for the light, he has to also be able to see the dark. And he says the same is true for you. Like in your life, you've seen the darker sides of life. But you do work for the light. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you?
What?
Yes?
Yeah.
So, and he says, don't be cynical. Make sure to not get too cynical about life.
Okay.
And he's laughing a little bit. Yeah, and I think that's it for now.
Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. So this made sense to you. I hope this helps you as well.
Mind blown.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right. God, I'm really having trouble today. All right, guys, I'm really sorry, but I have to go. I know, like, we have, let me see, Priscilla here. I'm really sorry, Priscilla. Please come back next time, but I have another call that I have to get to. If you come back next time, please let me know that so I can pick you. I'm really sorry. All right, guys, I'm sorry for the tech trouble. I hope this still helped you. I hope you still had fun. And I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Bye. I can't stop it. Oh my god. What is going on today? I don't know if you guys can still hear me. What is going on?